So tomorrow, September 28th, is Self-Awareness Day. Who knew there was a holiday of this name? So turns out that National Self-Awareness Day takes place on September 28th in the United States. And I'm going to read you a couple of quotes about this seemingly obscure holiday. It is an opportunity to spread information about the philosophy of self-awareness, the conscious experience of one's personality or individuality. Being self-aware means recognizing your consciousness or a person's awareness of their environment, body, and lifestyle. Self-awareness also allows a person to intentionally know and understand their character, emotions, motives, and desires. And here's a quote from another source about this holiday we're going to celebrate tomorrow. National Self-Awareness Day is a day dedicated to promoting self-reflection and discovery. It encourages individuals to take a step back and examine their thoughts, emotions, and actions in order to gain a better understanding of themselves and make positive changes in their life. All right, I already described it as an obscure holiday, and then I kind of looked at other holidays. It turns out there's like all kinds of holidays. Like there's International Raccoon Appreciation Day. That's October 1st. And so you might want to keep that in mind if you run across a raccoon or imagine one on October 1st. But anyway, I always like to make crack a few jokes there, but it's true. There really is International Raccoon Appreciation Day. Anyway, but we're thinking our holiday is not that, but our holiday might be National Self-Awareness Day. And so you'll get I think most of you, hopefully all of you, will get a email tomorrow celebrating this holiday from us, and we're giving a free gift for this holiday, which is a free copy of the Kindle, the ebook of our book, Reflective Meditation, Cultivating Kindness and Curiosity in the Buddhist Company. So there'll be no charge from it for this, the Kindle version, from September 28th to October 2nd. And that email you'll get tomorrow will have a nice link in it to your opportunity to take this. Self-awareness is really a strong feature of reflective meditation. And I think that people unfamiliar with reflective meditation might think that what we're doing, this kind of way that we're reflecting and talking out our experience and, letting it go on. And then we, not only do we let it go on, but then we write about it or think about it some more and reflect on it. And then often, hopefully, we have an opportunity to talk about it with someone, a teacher, a peer. And other people, when they look at this, they're like, this doesn't look like the direction that meditation and Dharma should go. And they might conflate self-awareness with self-centeredness. Though I invite you, especially those of you who've been doing reflective meditation for quite some time, if becoming more aware has led you to becoming more self-centered, and you can fill in what actually might be true for you. So now I'm going to sort of take a bit of a turn and talk about a famous Zen quote. Now, I'm not a Zen practitioner. I did it for a short time, a long time ago. So I'm speaking not as an expert here at all. But in the 13th century, Dogen said, to study the self is to forget the self. So I'm taking some liberty, because I'm not a Zen practitioner, to consider what forgetting the self might mean in our practice in reflective meditation. And it led me right back in my thinking to conditionality, because when we study the self, I think hopefully we come to discover very directly that the self, this thing we call myself, is conditioned in so many ways, in myriad ways. It's not fixed, and it's not a separate self. And we come to understand how we are always being impacted and impacting others, and we're always being impacted and impacting events and conditions in our life. So maybe the forgetting the self is forgetting this idea that we have a fixed self. And maybe, not maybe, for myself, after practicing reflective meditation for a long time and talking about, quote, myself and seeing how myself functions, this idea of a fixed sense doesn't make much sense anymore and doesn't seem to get a real strong grip on me, maybe for a little while, but it doesn't last so long. I see through it. So maybe I could think of forgetting the self as forgetting many of the fixed aspects that I thought was me, or turning it back to you, forgetting many of the fixed ways. This is who I am. This is fixed. This is who I will always be. And you forget that. That doesn't make much sense anymore. So back to the book that Linda and I wrote, and that will be free for a few days, several days. We named the book after the title of our practice. It took us a little while, by the way, to figure out the name of the book. And then Winton Higgins, who was our editor, said, you should just name it Reflective Meditation. That's a really good title. Oh, okay. And we subtitled it Cultivating Kindness and Curiosity in the Buddhist Company. That subtitle seems very different from self-centeredness. And yet I imagine when some people read the book, it could seem like a self-absorbed conversation between Linda and I. Here it is, all about these two gals talking about their experience. That sounds sort of self-centered. I don't know if that's what people think. Really, you'd have to tell me. Nobody's been so blunt as to say that directly to me. They might be more likely to say it to you. But I think that these people who might perceive it that way, and there's a lot of imagination going on. I don't know if this is true at all, but whatever. They would need to read below the surface of the book to understand that our conversation actually reveals this teaching, and how knowing the self actually reveals many teachings, conditionality, and other Dharma teachings. And I had this thought, you could suggest to your friends or family, as appropriate, that they just download the free Kindle book, and you might use this as an opportunity to talk about your practice and experience of reflective meditation. I know that's actually really hard to do. I've had a really hard time actually describing it because it's what is it? It's sort of, you have to do it to really get it. It's like, as a concept, it doesn't like make a lot of sense. Again, like thinking about yourself, talking about yourself, writing about yourself. Why wouldn't this build a bigger sense of self? But it doesn't. So there is a final line to this this teaching from Dogen, which is, or at least how it's come down through the centuries, which is, to forget yourself is to be awakened by all things. So I turn that back on you again. Has your experience of knowing yourself, of letting your self concerns go on in meditation, your emotions go on, you're reflecting back on your past and imagining your future, has that led to some kind of forgetting the self that you used to believe in? And has it led to more awakening? It's a big question, really, in my mind. Really important question. More waking up, maybe, to the life that's inside of you and the life all around you? And has it led to more kindness? Because in the end, I think this is what might matter most. So I will end the talk there, and it's time for us to do our practice, to